Hello and welcome to Craftastrophe. Today we are going to make a special Easter project. We're going to use natural ingredients to color these eggs. So the ingredients we are going to use today, we will be using turmeric, which makes yellow, red cabbage, which turns into blue, and paprika, which turns into red, and spinach that turns into green, and grape juice that turns into purple. Our first step will be to hard boil these eggs. Okay, so if this is your first time boiling eggs, what you'll want to do is put the eggs in first and then put cold water in the pan, and then you'll heat it up for about 12 to 15 minutes, and then once it's heated, then you'll have hard-boiled eggs. So for the green ingredients, we're going to use the spinach, and we're going to add a cup of water into the blender, which you can use any type of blender. And now we will blend it, and it'll turn into a green soup. And blend. Looking good and green and soupy. So now we have the eggs boiled, and we'll take them out very carefully and put them in a bowl. Don't want to crack them. Okay, so these are boiled and they're very hot, so we're gonna let them sit for a little while, and we're gonna work on cutting cabbage and getting all the other stuff prepared for coloring the eggs. We have the water in the pans, and we put 2 cups of water and 1/4 a cup of vinegar in these 2 pots, and in this one we put 3 cups of water and 1/4 cup of vinegar in there. And so now we put 2 tablespoons of paprika, and then we'll get that to a rolling boil, and then we do 2 tablespoons of turmeric, which is very stainable, so be very careful when you're putting this in your pot. So now we'll put the cabbage into this pot very carefully, just like that. And now we're going to boil this for all these for about 10 minutes, and then we'll have our colored liquids for our eggs. Okay, so we're ready for the next step of putting the eggs into the different colored containers here. And so what I'm going to do, you can do different things. I can draw on the egg and then stick it in there, and then the design will come up afterwards. And then the other option we can do is we can do rubber bands, and you can do different designs on it, and then once it dries, it'll have that design on there for you.
Yellow! Red! Green! Blue! Purple!
Okay, so we have the eggs in each container, and now we're going to stick them in the fridge and let them sit for 24 hours. And while they sit, every once in a while you want to go in and turn them around so that you don't have little extra spots where it has less of the coloring on it. And I would also suggest that you use a paper towel, have a paper towel handy for your hands while you're putting them in each container, so that you don't put the different colors in with it, because your fingers will get messy. We've waited the 24 hours and we're going to see what these eggs have turned out to look like after they've sat in the refrigerator. So the first one here is supposed to be a green egg with the spinach and water and vinegar. And so it turned out to be kind of like a light yellowish color. Stick that here and let it dry. The next one is the red cabbage. And we get this very beautiful blue color here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So we're gonna let this dry, and then when it's dry, we'll take the rubber bands off and it'll have its nice little design on it. The next one, we have paprika, which is supposed to turn red, but it looks like it's kind of like an orangish brownish color. So this one here, we're going to blot with the paper towel and dry off. Oh, look at that, we get some speckles here. And we have another one just the same, and we won't dry that one off, we'll let it sit and dry. Now we have the turmeric. This one you need to be very careful with when you pull out because it does stain. So this is turned into a very pretty yellow. And we're going to dry this one off with a paper towel also. That way we get all the extra gunk off of it. So it'll be a smooth yellow. And we'll do the same with the other one with the design. If you rub hard enough, it'll get kind of splotchy, and then you see part of the egg again. We'll let that one dry too. And our last one we have here is the grape juice. And we get a pretty purplish bluish color here. And it does look like this one decided to stay up on the top area. So we have this little spot there, but it just gives it character, makes it pretty. So we'll stick that one there and let it sit. There's our last one. And looks like we got a little design around it. So now we're gonna let them sit and dry, and then once they're dry, then we can stick them into the container, and then you can use them later and eat them or use them as decoration or whatever. So we let the eggs dry, and now that they're dry, we can stick them into the container, and that'll be good storage for them. And then when you're done with them, you want to stick them in the refrigerator so that they stay cold and fresh to use later. And then the ones with the rubber bands on them, we're gonna take the rubber bands off and see what design we get on them. Here we take off the rubber bands, and here's the cool design that we have on this one. Nice little squiggly line there, all the way around. And then this one we'll take off. Little crisscrosses on here. Here's the final product of this one that looks like a little football. And last one with double rubber bands and a big one. And this one has a nice little line there and a short little line right there. So there we have it. There are our naturally colored Easter eggs. Thank you for watching Craftastrophe. Check out the last video I made. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button to watch future videos. Also, take a look at our other channels. Stick around for some awesome bloopers. Oops. Green cabbage. Not green cabbage. Blue, purple cabbage.
Red cabbage.
Red cabbage. That you'll want to put the eggs in there and then stick the water in. And you want cold water so that if it's hot water, and we need to start over because that's not right. Hello and welcome to Craftastrophe today. We're going to do a special Easter egg, natural dyed egg thingy bobber.
God.
Hello and welcome to Craftastrophe today. We are going to make some special Easter egg crafts. Does that work?
You say, will that work on your videos?
No. Hello and welcome to Craftastrophe. Today we are going to make special Easter project.
Oops.
Well, welcome to Craftastrophe.